Hi guys, I'm Prateek Kumar and I'm the host of the FitCru show. I'm also the founder of FitCru. And before I start introducing the next guest, I would like to request you all to do one thing. Please subscribe to our channel on whatever platform you're going to hear this, or whether it's Spotify, YouTube, Instagram, wherever we're present. Please do hit the follow, subscribe button, because you guys subscribing to our channel helps us grow our show, grow our community better, and we are able to get better personalities, better people, and have more engaging conversations with them. This would help our listeners understand their struggles, their journeys, and get a clear insight in their lives too. So if you guys were to join us, there's literally nothing else that I could ask you all to do, because when we come together, we'll be able to get better people into our community. So please hit the bell icon or the subscribe button or the follow button, whatever platform you all are consuming this piece of content on. Please do join our community. I would like to welcome you all, and I would like to move on to our guest now.
If you want to do it now. If you don't do it now, then you'll never be able to do it.
So what advice would you give to somebody who's just starting out in your field?
Don't work for money. Simple. Don't work for money. It's so simple. Work to make a name for yourself and money will come. Yeah. Money doesn't go anywhere.
It's so weird that people will always fall back on medicine.
Yeah.
Majority of the people fall back on medicine versus trying to solve the actual issue. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And even if they do, they'll go to a doctor. The doctor is eventually going to tell them to correct their lifestyle.
Hey guys, welcome back to the FitCru show, India's favorite wellness podcast. At least I hope so. Well, I'm your host Prateek Kumar, and today we are excited to welcome a strong figure in the world of physical therapy and recovery. That's Dr. Akshay Wagh. Akshay is the head physiotherapist at Proformance. It's a leading edge practice specializing in recovery and physiotherapy and restoration, spinal manipulation, and whatnot. His focus is in helping people to return from their active lives and achieve peak performance. But this is just the tip of the iceberg for him. In 2012, he was the physiotherapist of the All Blacks rugby team in New Zealand. And other than that, he's also made an impact in India's cricketing landscape by providing physiotherapy to the Mumbai Cricketing Association. He's also the physiotherapist to a lot of celebrities like Hrithik Roshan, Anil Kapoor, Varun Dhawan, Aditya Roy Hedri, and many more. So without wasting much time, let's talk to Akshay Wagh about his fitness regime, about what he believes in, what is the current scenario in physical therapy. So without delaying this further, let's speak to Akshay Wagh.
What's up, Akshay?
All good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm really excited to have you over here. I've been wanting to have somebody from your line of work, connect with somebody from your line of work, because I've got a lot of clients who need what you do, but they don't have an understanding. So if for our listeners, for our audience, can you just explain what is it that you do?
So I'm a physical therapist by profession. Basically help people heal without any kind of non-invasive form of treatment. So we are more into manual therapy. So we work a lot with our hands. We don't use any modalities in our treatment. It's mostly exercise based and a lot of soft tissue release and manipulations, etc.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, and what made you decide that, okay, this is what you want to do?
So it was an extreme accident. I actually wanted to be a pastry chef.
What are you saying?
Yeah. But so I have an older brother who's 7 years older than me, and his in-laws are both doctors.
Okay.
So back then they told my brother that why don't you ask your brother to do physiotherapy, because it has great scope, etc. So then my brother told me, why don't you try doing physiotherapy? So I was like, okay, let's try. Hua to hua, nahi hua to quit and come back to hotel management.
Okay.
So then that's how I got myself admitted into physiotherapy, and yeah, it worked. So I'm happy with what I do now.
Absolutely. I mean, I think the biggest achievement is each and every client when they come back and tell you that, you helped me get rid of pain.
Yeah.
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 So what is your specialty? Like, let's say that I would want to probably put you in a bucket, which I don't want to, but just for our listeners.
So see, I wouldn't give like a specific term as to I'm good with a specific branch of physiotherapy, because again, in our society the awareness is still not there. So I would still call myself like a musculoskeletal physiotherapist, but
Okay.
I also specialize in sports injuries management. That's what I studied in masters.
Okay.
Yeah, and I also do.
And where have you done your masters from?
I did my masters in New Zealand from University of Otago.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was a 2 years course. I was in New Zealand from Jan 2011 to to August 2013.
Mhm.
I came back in 2013 because they don't give license to practice to Indians specifically in New Zealand.
Okay.
You have to always apply for the license, and then they'll always make sure that you're short of credits, and then they tell you to do this course and that course, and then it's a
Yeah.
never-ending process. So then I initially thought that I would go to Australia, but then I was like, no, let's just go back and see how and what we can do
I'm sure.
in the.
So when you started over here, you started in 2000?
So I came back in 2013. I worked in Heel for two and a half years.
Okay, it's right here.
Yeah.
Okay.
So back then, Heel belonged to Shamal Vallabhji.
Okay.
Yeah, and JSW was the primary investor in the company.
Okay.
And then I think by end of 2015, I quit and I started by myself.
Mhm.
And I set up Performance on 1st June 2016. Yeah. And since then, we've
You're
been.
looking back.
Yeah.
Brilliant. But what are the like I know the challenges that I have faced when I just started off. What are the challenges that you faced when you were like setting up?
So initially, when I came back, I thought that I would just set up directly, but then I was like that I don't have any references from doctors. I don't know anybody here
Mhm.
because it was like a completely new setup for me after coming back from New Zealand.
Correct.
So then I thought that I should work in some clinical setup to understand how things work, what does it take to run a setup, what is the management aspect, what is the physiotherapy aspect, how do you generate patients, etc. So it was primarily that.
Okay.
And then I excelled in Heel pretty quickly because I gave them quick patient results and also used to make reasonable amount of money for them on a monthly basis. So then they set up a small Heel inside Leena Mogre's gym
Okay.
in Bandra in that
Okay.
KFC wala lane.
Yeah.
And they gave me one massage therapist to go with.
Okay.
And yeah, so and then they never promoted the Bandra center specifically.
Mm.
So whoever came to Bandra didn't come to Bandra because it was Heel.
It was because of you.
They came because I was there. And then I was there from say end of 2014
Mhm.
to end of 2015. So it was 1 year was good enough time for me to generate my own client base.
Wow.
Because many a times people from Bandra used to go to Parel for treatment, and then when I used to ask my bosses that why aren't you telling them to come to Bandra, they used to be like, oh, we forget. I said, Matlab, what's the whole idea, or how lame can you be by saying that you forget when you know that you have a set up in Bandra?
Correct.
So then, then obviously arguments, etc., etc., and then it just there was a point where I was like,
I'll start my own.
I'm
thing.
done. I'm going. So then when I quit, almost 80-85% of the clients came to where I went. So then it was not a struggle for me to sort of, start Performance. But again, when I quit Heel, my wife was pregnant and she was due in like 2 months. So I quit in December and
Okay.
she was due in Feb. So initially I was working from my home only.
Mm.
And then once my wife came back, then I started looking for a place and then I found something and then that's how it began.
So you think getting a child and
Yeah, I guess.
gave you that entire push that okay now I
Yeah.
want to.
Yeah, pretty much. Because Performance and my son both are 7 years old now.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, like now that you're 7 years old into the business, like understanding the business, how much of your time goes into clients versus how much of your time goes into trying to grow the business?
So Most of my time goes into treating patients. I start my day at 5 a.m. at work
Okay.
and I work till 7 p.m.
Ah.
So those are our work timings. Because I know that there is no other clinic in Bombay who starts so early in the morning. Primarily, I came to this 5 a.m. scene because many corporate guys like to finish their physio or their basic rehab training, etc., in the morning so that they have the rest of the day free.
Correct. Makes sense.
So now, so now the struggle is everybody wants to come at 5 a.m. So there's a different kind of fight. So now sometimes I even feel that if I say that my clinic's going to be on from 4 a.m., then people will come at 4 a.m. also. It's like that. Because all these triathletes, runners, most of these are corporate guys again.
Yeah.
So they like to sort of get done with this early in the morning.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
So what are the like key issues that you've observed recently, like that's coming up? Because I've seen a lot of patients coming in with rheumatoid arthritis, fibromyalgia, a lot of autoimmunes, to be specific. What have you observed that what is coming a lot nowadays?
So fibromyalgia is one condition which has gone up primarily because of the amount of stress that people put themselves into, and I wouldn't classify it as autoimmune. It's more stress induced than anything else.
Okay.
But again, if you ask me, common conditions: neck pain, back pain because of prolonged sitting and work on the laptop, use of smartphones. And we end up going in the most amazing postures when we're working. Plus, now that it's post-COVID, it's become work from home wala scene. So, people are like, they'll go in the most obviously amazing positions to work and then, come to us with, oh, neck is hurting, back is hurting, knee is hurting.
Yeah.
So I would say it's more repetitive stress syndrome situation for these neck and back issues, primarily seen in people with long hours of sitting.
Okay.
Yeah.
And is so do you recommend like just physical therapy, or is there a different way to
No, so I always recommend, physical therapy along with strength and conditioning is very, very important.
Okay.
I think they both go hand in hand. But before you start doing strength and conditioning full time, I believe in first building strength in the smaller muscles. I mean to say the postural muscles, which is the posterior chain of your body. Because in your day-to-day activities, you're anyway using the anterior chain of muscles in the front of your body get used in your day-to-day activities.
Correct.
But because of sedentary lifestyle, your posterior chain muscles, they sort of get weaker and weaker and weaker and weaker and weaker because of stress.
Inactivity and stress.
Exactly. So then, we end up slouching and with anterior pelvic tilt causing back pain, and then, then the entire mechanics of the body gets affected. And then you have different pains. So you have shin splints, or you have knee pain, or your IT band syndrome, or stiff hamstrings, or stiff calf, or stiff ankles. So it's all primarily from long hours of sitting.
So you think that is like a silent killer right now?
It's like the new smoking.
Yes, I did read somewhere like sitting is the new smoking. Like that's why people are coming up with different ways to add a treadmill to their workstation and walk and work and all that.
Yeah, or the best is to just have a standing desk.
Okay.
So again, many a times when I was in Heel, me and one of my other colleagues from Heel, we had set up the Edelweiss office. So we had set up like 400 standing desks into their setup.
Okay.
And the other thing is that the minute we say stand and work, then people feel like, oh, sitting is not good, stand. So then they stand for 8 hours. So that again is not good, because if you want to stand for 8 hours, you need that kind of strength in your muscles.
Yeah.
Then they again come back. Peeth dukh rahi hai, knee dukh raha hai, neck dukh raha hai.
So you would do a sit-stand workstation.
Yeah, exactly. So always remember that it has to be a sit-stand ratio in 1:1.
Okay. So 4 hours sitting.
4 hours of sitting to 4 hours of standing.
Right.
Yeah. But eventually you should always aim to keep your standing a bit more than your sitting, because human body was never designed to sit in one place. It was always designed to move. Our ancestors never sat. They were all constantly on the move. The only time they rested was when they slept at night or when they were cooking food.
Correct.
Other than that, they were on constant
Either hunting
move.
or working,
Exactly.
something like that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that evolution has sort of changed so drastically to. So that's why, even for that matter, if you see, our grandparents didn't have as many injuries as what we have today.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Because they were so active, they have a habit of doing everything at home.
Yeah.
But the same, if with us,
I know what
that's
you mean.
not the same.
So, coming to grandparents, I know my grandparents, my grandfather would wake up at 5, go for a morning walk, then swim, then some kind of physical activity. Like he had a 2 or 3 hour initial early morning routine, which was blocked. And after that was when he would get on this day. You mentioned corporates also coming in earlier.
Yeah.
Would you recommend like any specific format that, okay, this is how you should start today, at least to avoid injury?
So I would say that at least, so the minute you wake up, if you could do some kind of physical activity before you head into your day, will be really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
So that physical activity can be anything. You go for a morning walk, you go for a cycling, you go to the gym, you walk, you do some basic weight training or basic exercise, or you do yoga, do whatever. Even if you climb like 5 flights of stairs up and down twice, that is also good enough.
Okay.
But some kind of activity is necessary, because that blood flow into your body gets warm, and always exercise always helps you think more clearly than
Absolutely, yeah.
than not.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Like exactly, like before we started, I told you like how important my physical activity is to me. Like if I
Very.
don't get it, what's your routine like? What's
So I sleep at 9 o'clock.
Wow.
I wake up at 3.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I wake up at 3, and I'm also training for triathlons right now.
Okay.
So I have like a set training program in place right now for me. So
Who's
there are
designed the
days-
training program?
So one of my patients is a triathlon coach.
Okay.
So he designs my programs.
Okay.
And I also run.
Mm-hmm.
And I also play cricket for. So my son goes to Jamnabai,
Okay.
and they have a cricket team. So I also play cricket for them.
Wow.
Yeah. So I wake up at 3. Then
How many hours in a day do you have?
for me, I feel 24 hours are also less.
I'm sure.
Yeah, sometimes we just make fun at workplace, saying that we should just keep the clinic on for 24 hours. So yeah, I wake up at 3, then I have my run, swim, or cycle, swim,
Okay.
and then followed by a weight training session.
Okay.
And then I usually try and start my day sometimes at 5 a.m. or sometimes at 6 a.m. depending on what my training program and how much I have to do in the morning.
Uh-huh.
And then from 6 a.m. onwards till 6 p.m. I'm working, and then home.
Okay.
Yeah, but this morning 3 hours is something that I really, really need. I can't function. So I was 104 kgs about 5 years back.
Okay.
So I cut down my weight because I started running, and then I just became so passionate for it that running became everything for me. It's like meditation. So if I don't run, even if it is a kilometer, then I have to, because then it just helps me think
Clear your mind.
clearly, and it just sorts me out for the rest of the day.
So what's your idea about nutrition? Like how do you?
So I believe that nutrition is the most important aspect of, I would say, to keep your body in good condition again, because many a times I see people, I mean, even you might be seeing that, we have a habit of eating junk, and also people don't understand how and what to eat and when. So I've recently read this book called The Glucose Goddess.
Yeah, a lot of people have read it.
Yeah, so that was a whole new insight to how to eat, what to eat, and how food is affecting your glucose levels, how food is affecting healing, how food is affecting muscle building. So a lot of that has really is very, very important when it comes to.
So it's nutrient timing.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of people, like right now still try to emphasize more on that versus getting the basics and fundamentals right.
Yeah.
I have clients who are extremely obese and who are trying to focus on uh, just this aspect of nutrient timing versus overall nutrition. So they're just focusing on glucose spikes. Okay, they have to eat this at this time, but they're actually not getting a lot of fundamentals right. What I did like about that book was that they did say that you should eat your vegetables in a specific order, your proteins and carbs in a specific order. How that actually helps in a psychological way is that it gets you full faster.
Exactly.
So you don't end up eating a lot of high calorie food.
Yeah. Correct.
Overall. It also doesn't allow you to consume a lot of hyper palatable food.
Correct.
Once you consume like vegetables, which is like really boring but very essential.
Very essential. Yeah.
You don't feel as hungry as you were at the start of the meal.
Correct.
And you end up consuming fewer calories. That's how it actually works.
Yeah, that's true. So eat the fiber, then the protein, then the fat, then the carb.
Yeah.
So by the time you're reaching the carb, you're full. Already.
Yeah. So you don't feel the need to eat that much.
Exactly.
It's not like carbohydrates aren't important.
No, they are in fact. Why do you say balanced diet?
Exactly.
You need everything in your meal.
Yeah. So tell me about your clients. Like, what are your favorite clients to work with? Like, I'm sure like you have celebrities. You must be having cricketers and athletes also who come to you.
So I unfortunately don't have too many cricketers coming to me. I've always wanted to sort of push myself into IPL, but that hasn't happened. I hope it happens soon.
Okay.
And I'm a big Shah Rukh Khan fan. At some point, want to go and treat him at least once in life.
Okay.
So I'm hoping that happens soon. But I really love working with athletes. I've worked with a lot of runners, a lot of triathlon guys, and that sort of drove me. Because suddenly there was a spike in the number of people I was seeing who were triathletes. I thought I should also try and do one and see what happens.
Correct.
So then, I really like I said I love working with athletes. So one of my athletes is also doing very well in Pumse. It's a part of Taekwondo where you don't fight. It's more like a performance-based sport.
Okay.
So she's 33 or 34 now, and she just won 2 medals in Australia, Australian Open right now.
Wow.
Yeah. So, and I work with a lot of Taekwondo athletes also.
Okay.
I've worked with when I was in heel. I worked very closely with the wrestlers. So these Bajrang Punia and Sakshi Malik. So I've actually gone and stayed in
the facilities.
Sonipat.
Okay.
For 2 to 3 months back then.
How do you how do you manage a family and travel, because it gets very demanding, right?
It does get demanding. I mean, my wife is the most amazing person. She's been really supportive because even when you have to travel, say for example, travel with a celebrity somewhere, then the travel is nothing less than a week or 10 days or sometimes 15 days.
Mm-hmm.
And then to manage the entire house with the son and 2 dogs, I don't know how she does it, but she manages.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you think you would like to give credit to your wife?
Yeah. A lot of the credit goes to her. In fact, she also helps me run the clinic. So I've told her, please take care of the management and the accounts, because that's not my cup of tea. I can treat patients, I can grow performance in that aspect.
Yeah.
But this aspect, I can't.
The business part of things.
Yeah. Because when she actually came and she saw the way the accounts were, she's like, she joined performance when Arif turned 5.
Okay.
And the first question she asked me is that I have no idea how you've survived for 5 years. Yeah, because I'm just too bad with money, and I don't. And so my motive is never to make money. I'm happy to treat patients. They get better, they send more patients. They get better, they send more patients. That's all I know.
Yeah.
So whether they pay, they don't pay, who's paid what, how much money is due, how much money is balanced, I have no idea. So accounts is something that is not my cup of tea, and I don't like to deal with it also.
I think you will also start interfering with your practice, because I've noticed that happened to me. When I'm so passionate about getting results for my clients.
Yeah.
And the minute I pay attention to that, okay, they're up for renewals or they have not paid, then your ideology is okay. Maybe they might not stick around for so long, because that's human mentality, right? Humans try to fix themselves.
Exactly.
The minute they feel that, okay, I'm getting better, they'll be like, okay, I might not need this person. And I'm not saying bad for anybody, but that's how humans function, that's how humans think. So they'll be like, okay, I can probably survive without this person. Let me try it out. So you get those feelings when their tenure is coming to an end.
Yeah.
And the minute I start paying attention to that, my investment towards my client starts decreasing. So that's why I've like allocated a team towards that. And I'm like, although it's a bigger expense to me and I'm losing out money in that sense, but you can't be thinking like that, because the minute I start thinking that, okay, I'm going to lose my client, my investment towards my client starts decreasing.
You can't affect your quality of work for money.
Absolutely not. I think that's the biggest struggle for everybody that I've spoken to in the health and fitness space, because you're so invested in trying to get your clients to get better.
Exactly. Like the minute you put targets and money in the picture, your quality of work gets affected.
Mm-hmm.
And once your quality gets affected, then it's just
downhill. Yeah, you get one bad review. Like in our line of work, one bad review really. Like, have you ever faced a bad review?
Yeah. I have faced a bad review. So there's this one client who came asking, that are you a chiropractor? So I said, yeah, but I said that I'm not going to fool you by saying that I'm a chiropractor. I told her that I'm also physio. So you come over and let me assess you, and then we'll see. Depending on what your needs and necessities are, we'll work on that. So I treated her, I explained to her everything. So she came with very bad neck. So we got the neck sorted. I also did whatever chiropractic adjustments that needed to be done, and then she goes and she puts a review on Google saying that I'm unhappy with, because these guys said that they're chiropractors, but they did whatever. So I was like, so then I called her and I told her that, what is the whole point? So she's like, no, you fooled me. So I was like, if you think that I fooled you, then please come back and take your money. I don't want it.
Mm-hmm.
So she actually came back, she took her money.
Oh wow.
And that review still lies on Google, which is okay. I mean, it only teaches you, right?
Yeah.
So now when people call saying that, are you a chiropractor? We say that we do spinal manipulations also. We do other joint manipulations also, but we're primarily a physiotherapy setup. This is what we do. If required, then these chiropractic adjustments come into play. If you want to come. If you don't want to come, then there's Kalpesh Ghelani in Bandra. Please go to it.
Yeah, but like, I think the same thing happens with us also, like when we get clients and they're like, I want to start a keto diet. I want to start an intermittent fasting diet. I'm like, you're coming to an expert. Let us decide what's the best line of treatment for you. Because, if you want to do something like that, then, if you know what works for you, and if you are so sure that this is what is going to work for you, then I wouldn't be so comfortable working with you. Because the minute you start deciding what is the right course of treatment, I don't think there is any value for me in your life.
Correct.
Yeah, and I've had a couple of, like, in the entire course of time since FitCru exists, like 4.5 years, I've had only one bad review. Because the minute I got that bad review, I was like, you know what, I need to make one thing very clear. I need to be absolutely honest with people. There was this one client that we got on board, and she stayed in Bangalore, and she said that I want to lose weight and I want to do this, that, and other. And okay, fine. She started with us, and it was a week or 10 days into it, and she was like, you know what, I've joined your program, you've given me a diet, I'm not able to follow the diet. I was like, okay, so what do you want us to do? How do we get you to follow the diet? Let's dive deeper. She's like, no, you give me the diet, I'll follow it. I was like, no, it won't work like that. You have to tell me about your day and how you like to spend it, what is it that you do, stuff like that. So I'll be able to work around your life, make it extremely easy for you so that it's sustainable.
Correct.
She's like, no, it won't work like that because I don't have any timings and I'll eat anytime, just tell me whatever and I'll figure it out. So I was like, okay, fine, let me try to help you out, It went on for a month, 2 months, and I was like, see, we're not headed anywhere. You might as well just take your money back because I don't think I can help you out. Because there's a lot of rigidness in your approach, and I was very honest with her that I think you're not flexible, you're not taking feedback really well. And then she went on Facebook, she went on Google, and she left bad reviews and gave a call over here. I was like, listen, I'm going to process a refund, and at the same time, I would still recommend that if you want to try it out for one more month, I'll give you an extra month complimentary from our end, because I feel that you can really improve. Your habits in general are bad, but you're not willing to improve them. I think, if you're able to work on that part, then I can really help you out. And then she went ahead and put another bad review. So, so then that's when I decided that it's better to be absolutely honest with each and every client from day one.
Yeah, absolutely. So the same thing with me. I've also had only one bad review till date,
Yeah.
but it's okay. I'm always happy to go and read that review on Google. I'm like so happy.
Yeah, it's kind of now it's kind of motivating for me because like as business starts growing and you start seeing that okay there are more people coming but the bad review still stays at one.
Exactly.
It's not increasing. You know that you're doing something right.
Exactly.
You know that you're not fooling people. You're not conning people.
Exactly. True that.
Yeah. But apart from bad reviews, tell me good stories about celebrities, man. I mean, I'm sure people want to hear about it.
So celebrities, I mean, they have their own tantrums to deal with. Get a lot of tantrums from them.
Like right now, like I was getting a call from one client because they just feel that. I mean, I don't want to name names.
They feel like they own us.
Absolutely, those are the words that I was going to say.
Yeah, they feel like they own us.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, many a times, you have to show the celebrity that you're a celebrity in your own house.
Yeah.
You're not a celebrity in my house.
Yeah.
If you can't respect my time, please go see someone else.
Yeah.
So I'm very honest about with all the celebrities that come to me with respect to that aspect also. Like if you respect my time, I respect your time. If you don't respect my time, there are 20,000 physios.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I think for me, all my clients are paying the same price.
Exactly.
They're paying the same fee. So for me, they're all equals.
Yeah.
And I've allocated a certain time. Like I know that after this episode, I have my client calls, I have my meetings, I have an allocated schedule which is very tightly packed.
Correct.
And in that I keep getting calls. Hey, I want this. Why don't you set up this kind of a workout program for me?
Yeah.
I'm out over here. I want to eat this. And the minute I allocate a different coach from my team for them, they're not okay.
They're not okay with it. Exactly.
So I mean, it's a lot of. They're like babies. I feel.
It's the same story for everybody,
Yeah.
because the minute I have to travel outside the clinic, I have to like literally start convincing people from 2-3 weeks beforehand to sort of, please do not come if I'm traveling. Your break in the continuity of the treatment. If there's a break in continuity, then you'll go 10 folds back.
Yeah.
So to sort of, tell them that and then convince them to come and see my team. And my team of physios is also really, really good.
I'm sure.
But I have only 2 hands. I can't do
And
more
next
than
number of
that.
hours.
Exactly. I
Yeah.
can't do more than that. And then the most annoying part is that, and we work on appointment basis again.
Mhm.
So my appointments are 45 minutes or 1 hour appointments. And then, and
People don't show up on time.
People don't show up on time. People cancel last minute. That is really, really annoying because there are so many other people who want appointments.
Yeah.
And then there's so much of bargaining that happens
No.
when it comes to fees. It's just, unreal.
Yeah.
And the other thing which is really, really annoying is, some people are just never content in spite of getting the result that you've given them. They will always keep complaining कि तुमने कुछ नहीं किया, and then these are that window shopping type of
Yeah.
people. They want to go to this physio and that physio and that physio and that physio and that physio. So many times such people who come to me, I tell them that it's okay if you don't come to me, but please be consistent with one physio and do what that physio is saying. You can't be bouncing around. And this is exactly what celebrities do.
I think like this is what I've done. Like I've started studying a lot of human behavior, and what I've understood is from most of my clients is that a lot of people don't want to get better.
No, they don't want to.
They don't want to get better because of the love, the sympathy, the affection that they get, the attention that they get
Yeah.
because of the illness that they carry.
Exactly.
And it is a very sad thing. It's very addictive. The minute let's say that I have my back pain, I have angst, and some days are really bad. Like today was really bad. Like I had a lot of pain when I woke up. But I also have understood that there is a certain way for me to manage that pain. But on the flip side, I have certain clients who have RA, rheumatoid arthritis, and they even on good days they would be complaining.
Yeah.
Even on bad days they would be complaining. And it never stops.
Yeah.
They'll always be, I cannot do this, I'm gaining weight, I'm emotionally eating. I was like, you're aware of everything.
Yeah.
Can we take 5 minutes just to sit and talk about it? Are you willing to do that? I can't, I don't have the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So So I have observed a lot of people and a lot of human behavior right now in this time is like they don't want to improve. I mean, they want to improve, but they don't want to do the things that what they would need to do to improve.
Yeah, I mean, so that's the thing. I think time is a very big constraint in most people's lives.
Is it really like compared to your personal life?
I would say it is more a matter of convenience.
Yeah.
People use it to their convenience. If they want to do something, then they will remove time for it.
Yeah.
But if they don't
you work with Ritik, right?
Yeah.
So I'm sure his schedule is really packed.
Yeah.
He's busy, he's got kids, he's got his movies, he's got his production house, he's got everything going on for him. Like everything good that people can see is going on, everything bad that's going on is in his internal head and his home and all of that. But the point is that I'm sure he's extremely busy.
He is.
Right? But is he giving time to his recovery?
So he does, but sometimes the problem with him is that he's extremely aware about his body.
Yeah.
Okay, and the thing is that he works with 5 physios at once.
Mm-hmm.
So this was until 4 years back where he was working with me. He was working with another physio. He was working with Himakshi Basu. He was working with another physio. Some 5-6 physios at once. So one day I called him up and I told him that I want to come and talk to you for 10 minutes. So he said, okay, come. I went and I told him, see, you're working with 5 physios. You're working with me. You're working with one more physio. You're working with one more.
Yeah.
So, if you're going to work with 5 physios, you're not heading anywhere.
Yeah.
Because it's very simple. No physio does anything wrong, but no physio will say it also.
Mm.
So, if Himakshi is good, if I have done something, Himakshi will say, oh no, उसने सब गलत किया है, ऐसे नहीं करना चाहिए था, ऐसे करना चाहिए था, or some other physio will say, कि Himakshi ने ऐसे ये गलत किया है. So, I told him on that day, I told him, see, I am not going to say that I am doing something right or Himakshi is doing something wrong. No physio does anything wrong. Everybody has their own thought process, everybody has their own school of thought, and whatever approach they have is leading you to a certain amount of healing at the end of every session.
Yeah.
Okay? So whether you work with me or whether you work with some other person, but you stick to one person.
Mm.
If you stick to one person, you will achieve results faster than you working with 5 people. Then his argument to this is no. Then if there are 5 people working, then
on different areas.
Insights. I said it's not about insights here.
Mm.
Here, more than insights, it's about how fast you're healing. Because if you're going to do 20 things to one body part, your body part is not going to heal.
Mm.
In fact, you might just end up deteriorating it further.
Yeah, there's some kind of injury that could come in, creep in very fast.
Exactly. So that day he understood, okay, fair. So for the last 5 years, he's not gone to any other physio. Yeah.
So now what is in line for performance next? Like what is your vision? Like where do you want to take it?
So I think people are obviously telling me open up centers, but I'm someone who's very happy-go-lucky. I don't want to sort of think about another center right now because I think that this needs to do a little better in terms of more client base for my physios. So I want to grow them first before I set up another center.
What's the capacity that you have?
I have a staff of 9 people right now. So I have 2 male massage therapists. I have 4 physios. And 1 receptionist and 1
no, overall, like in terms of patient handling.
Patient handling. So we see roughly about 20-25 patients a day.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
That's huge.
Yeah.
That's very much. And you still think that there's potential for more?
Yeah, there's
more patients.
Easily. Like I'm doing most of the work. My physios are also working, but I feel that they can certainly see not 3 but 5 patients in a day.
Yeah.
In 8 hours, 5 patients is pretty doable, I feel.
It is, but this is one thing that I've come to, like if even me, like in my line of work, I've seen that the passion that I hold for my business, because it's like my baby.
Exactly.
Like something again that we have in common is that FitCru and my son are exactly the same age.
Right.
He's turning 4 and FitCru turns 4 now. I started it like literally three months before my wife delivered.
Right.
So, and what I know that the amount of patience and the amount of revenue and the amount of work that I put into FitCru versus the junior coaches that I have,
Obviously.
it's not the same.
It's going to never be the same.
And I want to hold them and I want to tell them that, you know what, you can do so much better, and you can just, you know, maybe advertise yourself more or speak to your clients more, understand from them, and they will refer more clients. This is what has worked for me. You can also do the same. But
no, so I think with the present generation there is no motivation.
yeah,
They only want money. They don't want to sort of work.
yeah,
They want money, and that's that. And then they come at 8, and then at sharp 4 they
Yeah.
leave. They don't want to come 10 minutes early, stay half an hour more to.
have you had to fire anybody?
Yeah.
Yeah,
For me, quality of work means everything to me. If I feel that it's affected in any way, then that's that.
have I fired anybody till now? Not yet.
So for me, I don't lose my shit. I'm a very, very patient person.
No, I lose my shit very fast.
I'm a very patient person, but when I have to fire, I don't scream. I just very coldly take their case. So they'll be like, "Yeah, it's better you scream at us than."
No, I know. But no, I was talking more in sense of like letting people go, because when you understand that people's ideas and values are not in line with
Yeah.
what you want, then you have to have that
So
conversation.
that has
and tell
never
them.
happened.
Not yet. Not yet.
No. So I try and sort of sit down, understand, work, sort of see if I can change myself in a way that will benefit them to learn better and be better. But never fired anybody.
Yeah. But I like this year is where I'm like, this year and the next year is where I want to get to a place where I am either able to motivate my team to work at maybe 90% of my energy levels and my capacity, and if they're not able to catch up, then it's time.
Even if it is 70%, I feel it's more than enough. 90% is very hard.
I know.
If you get lucky, great.
Yeah. No,
But
I have like these two people over here, both of them, like I think they give 110% with what they can. And it's then I try to set them up as an example for the rest of the team, that you know what, these guys are putting in their heart, soul, effort, everything into their respective thing. And one thing that I've learned is giving people sense of ownership
Yeah.
for specific parts of the business is so
Correct.
important.
Absolutely right.
Like although it's my business and I've started it, but the minute I try to control everything and I'll be like, okay, this has to happen this way, this has to happen, and I'm still coming to terms with it. But I think I'm trying to let go of certain areas. Like I think with Yuvraj also, I've told him to take ownership of certain things and just do it. If I feel something is not right, I'll tell him. With Amit also, like I've given him complete independence, whatever he requires, enabling him with the things that he wants, and letting him flow with it. But at the same time, trying to maintain the brand guidelines, the protocols,
exactly.
the values of the brand, so that it doesn't get diluted, because it's very important to keep that on track.
Yeah. So I'm also trying to do something like that as well. But sometimes I feel like people, it doesn't go well with the other staff.
Yeah.
So then that is another set of situation that you have to deal with. Because now my one massage therapist, who's been with me for like almost five years now.
Mm-hmm.
So he knows his work, and he's like Yuvraj and Amit. He comes at like 8 o'clock and he'll stay till 7. He'll
Okay.
stay till he leaves after I leave, because he's like, "Nay, you come at 5 a.m. I'll wait down, I'll shut down everything and go."
Yeah.
So that is what I expect from the rest of the staff. But the rest of the staff is nay, ye iska chamcha hai, etc. So that is what happens.
Yeah, I know. But it's not about that. It's
Exactly.
Like, if-
So then I tell them the same thing, that even if you put like 70% of what I'm giving, I'll be more than happy, because
Yeah.
it will allow you to grow also.
Absolutely, and that's so important, because if the job that I have given somebody, like not a job, but I would say that okay, this is what somebody is handling, and if that is not challenging them, like I know my business challenges me when I get a client that with a disease or with something that I have not heard of, and I need to collaborate with some other professional and come for a solution, that challenges me.
Correct.
And when my work challenges me, it gives me a sense of satisfaction at the end of the day. It's for me. It's not just about okay, I have to make a diet plan and give it to people. It's more about how is it impacting their life.
Correct.
A lot of diet plans can be made of ChatGPT also.
Yeah.
But it's about getting the people to execute it with a lot of efficiency. What matters to me, and that is how my coaching comes in play. That is where I get in the value. But yeah, getting that sense of accomplishment at the end of the day is so important.
Correct.
And if those tasks don't challenge my team members, like if suppose somebody's handling social media and we give them a mandate that okay, we are looking at getting maybe X number of followers or X amount of leads or X amount of engagement, and if they're not able to live up with that challenge, or they're not working towards that challenge, they will not feel that they've accomplished anything.
Correct.
Like at the end of the year, looking at the performance appraisals, and they'll be like, oh, sir, we want a raise. Like, okay, but what have you achieved? Like, we challenged you for this. What have you achieved? Have you achieved anything? And they'll be like, okay, we just did whatever. So that is why I said that, this 1 2 years, I want to make sure that the people who are working in the company are challenged.
Yeah.
And they're able to live up to the challenge.
Correct.
And they're able to grow. So if they are growing, then automatically I feel the business will grow.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I agree.
So
That's true.
So that's that. So moving on to the next segment of our show, we've got these cards. It's called Struggle in Strength. These cards are made in a way to understand how you have struggled in life. Okay, this segment is more about letting people know that there's going to be failure, inevitable failure, in no matter what you do. Like for me, FitCru also, the first 1 year was like hell.
Yeah.
Almost every second month I was thinking that okay, it's time to shut, it's time to shut, it's time to shut because it's not going to work. I was dealing with imposter syndrome. Like, people won't accept me. I mean, there are so many professionals out there in the market who are better than me, more seasoned than me, or I am. Why would anybody come to me? Dealing with all those things. And also a lot of, back and forth. Okay, this is not working, that is not working. Clients telling me, you've just given me a PDF, you just sent me a WhatsApp message, why are you charging me so much, and stuff like that. So, but as you start dealing with those failures, as you start dealing with those struggles, you start overcoming them.
Yeah.
And you don't. I think the key is that okay, you don't give up.
Yeah.
For me, I know I didn't give up because I really enjoyed doing what I did.
Same. If you enjoy what you do, then rest doesn't matter and rest won't bother you also.
Absolutely. So I think this entire segment was based on that I see a lot of people nowadays, like you said, the young generation, they're in it for the money.
Yeah.
And then they leave. A lot of resumes that I get are with work X of 1 year, 2 years, 1 year, 2 years, 1 year, 2 years. They've not stuck around at a place.
Exactly.
That means they're giving up really quick. Which is why I felt that okay, the younger generation definitely needs to know the value of failure.
Yeah.
There is literally no chance of being successful at anything if you don't experience failure.
True that.
So what you've done is you've added some questions which are around that. Kept it a little spontaneous so that it doesn't feel like a quiz or an interview. You will pick out the questions, I'll ask the questions to you, and you can answer your experience, what it is like. So a lot of these questions Yuvraj has come up with. So these are like at random. I'm going to just shuffle, ask you to pick it up. And then you can, if you want, you can read it out, or I'll read it out, whatever you're comfortable with.
You can read it out.
So what are the most important relationships of your life outside your family?
So
not Mega, not your son.
I think friends are very, very important.
Mm-hmm. You have like a boy gang or something?
I do have a boy gang.
Okay.
From my undergrad.
Okay.
So I studied in Belgaum.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So we are like this gang of 3-4 boys.
Mm-hmm. Where are they? Where do they stay?
One is in Canada, one is in Mysore, one is in Nepal.
Okay.
And I'm in India and I'm here.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, at any point if I feel like, if I'm stuck with something or if I need something, then
that's therapy for you.
Yeah, that's therapy. Like, sometimes just call and talk shit for hours and that's that.
Yeah. Yeah, I know my best friend stays in Kashmir.
Yeah.
Well, I have quite a few friends. One of my closest friends stays in Kashmir. One is in Bombay. But the guy from Kashmir, like I spoke to him last, I think maybe 8 months back.
Yeah.
And last day when I was coming back from Bangalore, I was on a flight from Bangalore, and he called me and I was like, yeah, what's up? He said, no, I just wanted to speak to you. I was like, I'm kind of busy right now. Can you talk a little later? And he's like, yeah, it's fine. I just wanted to hear your voice. I was like, that's the gayest shit you ever told me. He's like, yeah, I don't care. I just wanted to hear your voice. You can continue. We'll talk after 6-7 months. It's fine.
Yeah.
So sometimes, just
Yeah,
that,
it's the same thing with us also.
It's just that. It's just that I need
yeah.
from my boys because I feel that I would be nothing without my friends.
Yeah, totally.
Absolutely.
Like they are also as important a support system,
It's family, yeah.
Totally.
It's like the people that you didn't grow, like you weren't forced to be with them.
Yeah.
You chose
to be with them, exactly.
And now wherever they are, they also choose to be with you.
Exactly.
And they don't want to lose touch.
No, they don't.
They really care about you. So it's
Yeah.
My boy gang is like very, very precious to me.
Yeah, same.
Okay. So tell me about a time that you faced a very difficult time in your personal life, and how did you overcome that?
So honestly, till date, I haven't really faced anything too difficult in my personal life. We've been very sorted as individuals, and
But not, it doesn't need to be just your life. It could be like because a loved one, maybe family, a difficult time. I'm sure you must have. Like,
well, not that I can remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, like nothing like recently. Not that I can think of or remember.
So just to put some light, like maybe there was a time that I know that I had to find my career, alright, and that was a very challenging time because I was so, I don't want to blow my own horn, but I was good at everything, and when you're good at everything now, it becomes such it becomes so difficult because you're like, I'm good at this, I'm good at this. I started my career as a project engineer. I moved to marketing, then I moved to sales, and I was good at everything, but it never gave me the satisfaction, and I always felt incomplete.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm not doing something that I'm able to add value. I'm good at it. It's not like I'm exceptionally good. I'm good at it, and there was a time in my life where I was extremely lost because nothing was giving me happiness.
Right.
I was like, yeah, I'm doing good at it. I'm making money. Everything is happening, but I'm not happy about it. Versus now that I FitCru, I'm not making as much money as I used to, and I'm still not happy about that. But I'll find ways to grow. But at least I'm happy.
Correct.
So that is my experience. Maybe something that
Okay, so maybe when I quit heel and when I wanted to do performance, that time I think no one from my family was supportive.
Okay.
Like not even Megha, not her parents, not my parents, but in fact this time it was my dad who said that, if you want to do it now. If you don't do it now, then you'll never be able to do it.
Yeah.
So then I was like, fair. That was the first sane advice I got from my dad in probably all the years of life, his life and my life. So then I was like, I told him that you're the only one supporting me with this decision.
Yeah.
Because I told him that Megha's due in 2 months, and he's like, no, just take the jump and don't look back. So then that's how it is.
So do you think that you want to open another center?
I do eventually. We are actually sort of looking at some spaces in Shivaji Park to set up like a small space there and see how it goes. And if it does well, then great, because there are a lot of people from Shivaji Park who come all the way till here for physio.
Makes sense.
And there's one person in Shivaji Park who set up this Shivaji Park Marathon Club.
Okay.
Yeah, so that guy comes to me for physio. So I told him that, if I set up something there, then you can just keep sending people there instead of sending them here.
Yeah.
So we are looking at spaces right now. Let's see how it goes.
Excited. You think you all can have some kind of a program on a digital platform?
No, I don't think. You can't do physio.
Physio you can't do digitally, right?
You can't do. And I'm like a strict against that online consultancy.
Yeah. So I was seeing this thing called the Sport University, and they do a lot of. Have you seen that?
Yeah.
Even ATG.
Yeah.
I don't know, anti-gravity. I don't know what it's called. ATG, split squat, and all that they have.
Yeah.
So they do a lot of recovery work also.
They do.
They have a digital program, but I don't know how good it is.
No, so I am not very happy with this digital scene because the kind of result you'll achieve when you do it all of this in person versus you watching things digitally and doing it is completely different, because many a times people get injured because they're not doing what is shown to them right
Correct.
on screen, you know. So I'd rather have you do what you do in person with someone who knows what he's making you do, rather than doing it digitally, no matter it coming from the best of the people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Oh, killer question. So, what advice would you give to somebody who's just starting out in your field after 7 years into your field? If somebody
Don't work for money. Simple.
because you don't get paid on time over here.
Don't work for money. It's so simple. Work to make a name for yourself and money will come.
Mhm.
Yeah. Money doesn't go anywhere.
But do you feel that people are acknowledging the field that you are in, the way like the way it's supposed to be acknowledged, like the respect that it gets?
No, I still don't.
You don't get that, right?
We still don't get it.
Yeah, same here. Like I don't feel that it's valued as much as
No, it's not.
yeah. It's not just physio; it's just overall health and fitness.
It's also because people are still not aware.
Mhm.
People are still not aware about the importance of nutrition, about the importance of exercise, about the importance of injury management, about the prevention of injury management.
Yeah.
People just don't know, you know.
What is your take on medicine? Like popping pills and stuff like that?
I'm not a big fan of medicines.
Yeah.
I'd rather do
And-
everything else to subside my pain than put myself on medicines.
Yeah, and the saddest part is that people want to take medicine first
Exactly.
and then come
Yeah.
to a curative way of taking care of things.
Yeah.
And it's so funny, it's so weird that people will always fall back on medicine.
Yeah.
Majority of the people fall back
Fall
on
back on
medicine
medicines.
versus trying to solve the actual issue.
True.
And a lot of my time is spent in trying to tell people, like the amount of time people ask me that, okay, I want to go on a fat burn or I want to start this or that, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And even if they do, they'll go to a doctor. The doctor is eventually going to tell them to correct their lifestyle. So
It all comes down to correcting the lifestyle, but they don't want to take that as step one.
yeah.
You know, they will want to always take that as the last step.
And like you said, they don't work for money. But how much do people end up valuing your service or your time? Like let's say you have X hours of that you work in a day. You put a price to that because that is a time away from your family, that is a time away from the things that you want to do, but you're dedicating that time to other people and their healing journey. And you put a price to that. What percentage of people in India come to you and end up bargaining? Because I've not seen this abroad. I've not seen this.
A lot of them do.
Yeah.
A lot of them do. A lot of them do.
And what is their primary excuse that you?
They say कि अरे वो दूसरा फिजियो तो 500 रुपया लेता है, आप बहुत ज़्यादा चार्ज कर रहे हो. But then you have to tell them, but दूसरा फिजियो आपसे 500 रुपये रोज ले रहा है. You know, I'm taking what I'm taking when I'm seeing you once a week or twice a week.
Yeah.
So you're ending up spending lesser or maybe, tad bit more, but at least you're getting the right kind of quality of work.
Yeah. And unfortunately, a lot of people think that the more they go to a physio or the more they are in touch with
Exactly.
the specific profession that they're working with, that is going to be more effective.
Yeah.
I feel the other way around.
Exactly.
The lesser I am involved in your life,
True.
there is more ownership.
Exactly.
There is more responsibility. So I don't
Exactly.
want you to be dependent on me.
True. And the less you're dependent on me, the more you will send people to me, because you'll be like, oh, this guy fixed me so fast.
Exactly.
You know?
But that is the biggest problem. I think that people in India. I mean, so Yuvraj is from Spain, and he's not from Spain, but he's studying in Spain. And what is your how do you guys function over there, man?
I mean, over there, it's pretty much like there's no bargaining at all.
There's no bargaining.
Zero
There's no bargaining
They don't
anywhere. It's only in India.
It's like just direct, and it's very professional. It's very respectful, and it's like.
And over there, so even in New Zealand, we had a clinic for our school of physiotherapy. They used to pay the money first, then they used to come for treatment.
Absolutely, it's
Yeah.
not the end. No, it's never the end. They
No.
have to pay upfront.
They have to pay first, then get treated. Here, you get treated first and then you pay. And many of them run away without paying. Yeah, so many people just run away without paying. They'll say, "Oh, we'll pay next time." And then the next time they don't show up. And then they don't answer phone calls. It's a very common scene. That's the whole plan.
Great. So I wish you all the best. Thank you so much for giving us your time. I know you're kind of running late. It's 12:15 already.
No, that's fine. Well, now it's my physio's turn.
That's exactly what we're working towards.
Yeah.
If you run out of time, but great. Thank you so much, Akshay. Thank you for coming in.
Thank
I
you.
hope we are able to grow together.
Absolutely.
I would love to send your contact to my clients and see
Absolutely.
how
I'll
we
do
can
the
grow.
same for sure.
Yes, for sure. But yeah, I hope we could spread more awareness about performance and also what you
100%.
do. And we'll probably get on the chat again soon. I am working on a place where I call two people now. We speak to two people together just to get more idea about health, fitness, and
Done.
are able to spread the word across better. Right?
Surely.
Thank you so much, buddy.
Thank you.